Hello there, and welcome back to the Free Game Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things budget gaming. Today we're going to be talking about a card game that you can pick up for about $18. Super fun, played between two people. We're talking about Mindbug. Yes! No! Checkmate.
Yeah, I was trying to hold my breath the whole time.
Yeah.
But
welcome, Justin.
that wasn't good. Thanks,
do you
man.
want me
Good
to
to
do it
be
again?
here. Yeah. No,
Okay. Yeah.
no.
Especially since he's
Since
climbing
Valjean
up.
is.
Uh,
This must be the most exhausting thing he
yeah.
ever does.
Yeah. Welcome, Justin. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, dude. I'm doing good. I'm excited because I just played Mindbug for the first time. We played a couple rounds.
Yeah.
I am. It was 0-2.
Yep. You
I lost twice.
lost twice. I've played the game a lot more than you have.
Have you? You've lost though, right? I mean, you're not undefeated.
I'm not
you?
undefeated. I was undefeated for a while.
Really?
Actually, no, not really. Hello there, friends. Been doing a quick editor's note here. And as I'm editing this and listening to the episode with post-podcast clarity, I actually realized that I did not win this game for a while. And my boss, who actually showed me this game, totally swamped me, like every time that we played. So I just wanted to make that clear. And later on in the episode, I mentioned an incident with a spider owl. I am not the one who played it, and I am not the one who won. It was also my boss. Now, in my defense, at the same time that I was playing Mindbug, I had just started playing Keyforge, and Keyforge was a game that I was undefeated in. So, a little bit of a clear up of information there, and hopefully it doesn't completely ruin your podcast enjoying experience. Okay, back to the episode.
Yeah, and then my
That's
brother
pretty good.
started beating me.
Yeah, he's pretty good at card games, man.
Um,
You and him are both just good at card games.
yeah, we're both
Except
pretty
Marvel
good.
Snap. For some reason, you're unable to.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, man. We've just talked in the past about how,
Yeah,
for some reason.
and now I'm climbing like crazy.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing.
Well, I'm not
good.
doing good now. I'm stagnant right now.
Oh,
But we're not talking about Marvel Snap. We
no.
did enough
need
of
to
that on the
stop-
free game
we need
chat.
to stop talking about Marvel Snap.
I'm sure everybody's ringing their freaking ears right now.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can do that.
I've done it. I have big ears though. So
Yeah, huge, dude.
Not to brag.
Justin has big ears, tiny eyes.
And they are out there.
Yeah. Like, you ever seen
Tiny eyes.
ESPN?
Like a bat.
Nothing gets past this guy.
Not blind though. Are bats blind? No.
They are blind.
Okay.
That's why you have tiny eyes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they also have tiny
It's like I
eyes,
say something
just
under my breath. I'm like, yeah, you wish.
anatomically.
You're like, yeah, I do wish.
But also to talk about something that we talked about in the free game chat.
Yeah.
Pixar movies.
Uh-huh.
We haven't had a corrections segment in a
Oh,
while,
yeah. Uh-huh.
But we do have one for today
Okay.
because we have a friend named Donnie. He's a friend of the podcast. You know, everybody knows him.
Uh-huh.
Short guy. Likes to talk about Marvel Snap. You know what? Shout out to Donnie also because he is an infinite player in Marvel Snap.
Yeah, dude.
He made it.
He made it to infinite.
I beat the game when I got Thanos, and he almost beat the game. He got Thanos too, and he made it to infinite. So
He really beat the game.
he
Anyway,
actually beat the game.
talk about not Marvel Snap now.
Donnie told us. Oh yeah, that's true. Valjean just fell.
Straight up.
I don't know if he really wanted me to say this or not, but he was
Mm-hmm.
telling us this at work. He thinks Toy Story and Toy Story 2 are both better nominees
For the magnum
The
opus.
magnum opus.
Yeah.
Better than, say it.
Ratatouille.
Thank you.
I don't. You're just hurting my feelings more by making me say it. Is that the point? You're like, humiliate yourself. Come on, buddy, say it.
Come on, admit
I
it.
still think that Ratatouille is their magnum opus.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know you do.
Yeah, that's not gonna change. I actually have one correction to make really fast before I forget.
Okay, let me finish this one.
Can I just?
If
No, go on.
he said that for some reason during the whole era where it was Wall-E,
Yeah, like the 2008
Ratatouille,
to like 2009, 2010 maybe, 2011, yeah.
something like that.
12 maybe, like
He
13,
said
14.
for some reason he didn't really get into all of those movies.
Yeah.
I think he mentioned it was because he was in the military or something.
Some stupid excuse like
something
that.
like that. Busy with some other stupid thing.
Yeah.
But that might be the root of his hatred for Ratatouille.
Yeah, maybe. You know, because like when he thinks back on that era of his life, he just has bitterness in his heart.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Miserable.
Do you have any other corrections to make?
No, sir.
I have
ahead.
one correction to make. Mario Land 3.
Mm-hmm.
This is from our Super Mario Land 2 Six Golden Coins episode. Mario Land 3 is Wario Land.
Okay.
Wario Land 3 is not Super Mario Land 3.
Okay.
It's technically, like, if you were to count it all out, it would be Super Mario Land 5.
Okay. So, why?
But it's not called that. I have no idea. It's so complicated because it went Super Mario Land 1, Super Mario Land 2, Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land.
Okay,
and then
that's the same game.
That's the same game.
Okay.
And I don't even know where Super Wario Land 3 comes into the mix. I just know that it's the third installment of Wario Land.
Somewhere down the line.
You feel me? That's it. Okay. That was bugging me a lot because I was listening back on that episode and I was like, I should just look this up. So I did.
Good.
There's definitely more corrections to be made. I just don't have them right now. But
and if we don't get to them, we don't get to them.
We don't get to them.
You know. Mind bug. So, did you mention what year this game was released? Any of that?
No, I actually didn't. Let me look that up really fast.
But it's only $18.
Yeah, it's only $18. It's a game that it was a Kickstarter project.
Really?
Yeah, which is really cool.
That is cool.
Let's see. When did Mindbug come out? I think that it was pretty recently, honestly. I don't know. I honestly think that it came out in like 2021 or 2022.
Mm-hmm.
It's not giving me a very good answer here, but it's from the creator of Magic the Gathering. It was co-designed. Yeah, it was co-designed by Richard Garfield, the creator of Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
And yeah, it was funded on Kickstarter, which is super cool.
That is really cool.
That sort of stuff.
It's got a nice looking website. Can I say that?
No, let's not say that.
You're like, I'll cut that out.
There's you can buy it for $18.
Wow.
You can also buy like different like bundle packs where you can get like expansion passes.
Okay.
Like an upgrade pack, and then there's also another one where you get like a nice box and 2 play mats along with the one deck. And so this is a game where it's one deck of cards. Let me actually get it out here for
Do you know how many cards are in that?
48.
48.
Yeah, it's a 48 card deck. And you get the deck of cards. You get a booklet, like a rules book, right?
Yes.
Which is...
What were those two?
Those are just sleeves. And then you get these 4 Mindbug cards. And so it's a really interesting game because you buy the one deck and then that's it. You don't need to buy packs. You don't need to upgrade it, you know, and some people might not like that because
I love that.
Me too. Especially like at this point in my life, like the simpler the better when it comes to games. I love Magic. I'll never get into another game like Magic. Like I'll never do Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll never do Pokemon. Okay. I might get into it rudimentarily just for the podcast. But like I'm not gonna get into it like I did with Magic.
Yeah. I mean you don't even have the bandwidth to do that.
No. I don't even know what that means.
You've spent hours of so much time in your life on Magic.
Yeah, and that was like
you don't have time. You don't even have time to. You'd have to.
There's no way, tough, dude.
Like that'd be like me.
I was a kid. I just had so much time on my hands that I could.
And that's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, definitely. That's cool. I'm gonna get my kids into Magic.
And I 100%. I won't even. Yeah.
Magic and Minecraft, dude. I'm getting my kids into Minecraft like crazy. Because it's like
good.
It's like side tangent, but it's like blocks, but like on a whole nother level. It's amazing.
I don't think Magic is like this, but Minecraft is like Mindbug. Besides the fact that they both start with MIN and the corresponding noise that makes in the English language.
Well, when it's ended with a D or an E.
Correct.
Because, you know, like min. It's not min, right? It's mine.
Could be min.
And the fact that it's 2 words kind of like created into one. Yeah, it's a compound word. How else is it similar?
So, here's one of the reasons I like Mindbug.
Okay.
It's one of those games that is simple, but the strategy isn't.
100%.
It's really boiled down. Now, I haven't played Minecraft in years, but when it came out, it was so simple, but it was so good, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's still good. I just know there's a lot more to the game nowadays. We'll get to all that eventually.
I agree with that. Like when Minecraft first came out, and we'll wrap this into Mindbug, but like when Minecraft first came out, sorry about the wobbly mic sounds. Yeah, it was like you might have had, I don't know, let's just say 30 different block types.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay. But then you realize like, oh, I can do whatever I want with this.
Oh, this is
right?
a huge world.
Yeah. Mindbug is like, take all of the like complexity, craziness of magic and boil it down to a game that you can play in like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And is just like jam packed with strategy.
Yeah.
And like this is one of those games where it's so simple that you need to think like 4 turns ahead. You know, because each turn you can only really do one thing.
Yeah.
And so like in Magic there's no possible way that you could think 4 turns ahead. No possible way.
True.
But in this game it's almost like you're not allowed to just go, "Oh, I'm just going to do this and see what happens." Because you could just lose the game from one decision.
Yeah.
That's how simple it is. I'm doing air quotes around simple.
Yeah.
That's how simple it is. That's the voice of I'm doing air quotes around this word.
That was italicized.
Italicized. Oh.
And it was good.
Yeah, that's true. Simple with quotations underlined like a book.
Well, either that
How do you cite a book? I forgot.
What?
How do you cite a book in a paper? I forgot. It depends on the format, right?
I can't, dude. I would have
Depends
to
if you're doing
resurrect.
MLA
I would have to
or-
resurrect. Yeah, I would have to resurrect so much.
You graduated so much before me.
Yeah, so long ago.
So long ago.
8 years ago.
That's crazy.
That's crazy,
dude.
huh?
8 years.
I guess I'll date myself. Every episode we talk about how old I am.
Yeah, and I just barely skirt around dating myself, even though everybody knows how old I am.
Dude. And if they guess incorrectly, they might as well have guessed correctly.
That's
it's
true.
all the same.
Yep.
Oh, are we playing again?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
you just want me to look?
Yeah.
Can I look at those ones? Which ones did I have?
You had.
I had this one with the cat.
Yeah. No, I had these ones.
Okay.
We're looking at the Mindbug cards. They're very, very good.
You'll see them on the social media.
The art is great for this game.
I need to. Today is Wednesday, March 29th.
That's the day that we're recording this.
Pictures of our trips.
Oh yeah,
because that episode's out and I haven't posted those yet, so people might have looked for them.
Oh, another thing that I wanted to mention really, really fast. This is kind of in the corrections for the free game chat.
Okay.
We talk a lot about Marvel Snap in that episode, and by the time that it was released, a lot of the stuff that we talk about is a little obsolete because an update came in. So
Really?
if you're listening to that, we recorded it before all the nerfs and stuff with like Arrow and all that. So if you're in the know in Marvel Snap, that happened. And so if you're listening to it, you're like,
did it release before or after?
It released after we recorded it.
Good.
So we're good. But like, but yeah, so like you'll know that Leech hasn't had anything happen to it, and we didn't know then either. But like,
so that's what we wanted.
Yeah, and we wanted Shuri to do something, and nothing happened there. So
she got buffed.
yeah, basically. So that's why that might be a little bit of a disconnect there. But the art for Mindbug is great.
Yeah, I like it. It's very like themed.
Yeah, very thematic,
cartoony, and
all
colorful.
the cards are kind of like two animals or like an animal and an occupation like mashed together. So like there's like a snail hydra. So it's like the body of a snail, but it has hydra heads.
Pretty good.
There's like a Kangasaurus Rex. So it's like a T-Rex with bouncy legs.
Spring legs.
A tiger squirrel, a giraffodile, a chameleon sniper.
Let's talk about the soundscape.
What do you mean?
Just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I like
there's-
the art style.
When you buy this game, they actually have you download
Yeah.
an
You're
an
like,
album.
what? I'm like, you didn't know about this?
Yeah.
I just show you Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Oh. It's like you have to listen to this while
Sorry,
you
we
play
were
this
talking
game.
about Album of the Year earlier.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, but that's this year, right?
No, that came out in 2022.
Yikes. And it didn't get album of the year. I don't think that he's ever going to get album of the year.
No,
Anyway,
no.
back to the game.
Just a
So
Pulitzer.
you start the game. Is there anything else that you want to mention before we talk about like the rules and everything?
No, let's get into it.
Okay, so you start the game by shuffling the deck, which is 48 cards. Here's what that sounds like.
Yeah, if you don't know how to shuffle, that's what that sounds like.
Yeah. Well, I have them sleeved.
Yeah.
So,
So you're not going to
Yeah, no.
bend them all over the place.
You start the game by dealing 10 cards to each player.
Mhm.
And so this is something that I love about this game is that there's so much variety because there's 48 cards here. In my thoughts, it was like, okay, I guess we'll just shuffle it up and split it in two.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's 10, right?
Yeah.
So you get 10 cards, I get 10 cards. That's your deck.
There's no predicting what cards your opponent has.
Absolutely not. And certain cards kind of like work well with other cards,
Mhm.
but you might just not get them. But
Mhm.
like, for example, the last game that we played, I had tons of like discard based cards.
Uh-huh.
So like cards that brought cards out of my discard pile and brought cards out of your discard pile.
Yeah.
And they
that's
all
true.
kind of synergized together. It was
Worked
really
real
it was
well.
really good.
Didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
did.
it did.
I
I'm
noticed.
sorry. And so then you start by giving each other 10 cards each. That's your deck, and then you draw 5 cards from that. So you
Mhm.
start the game with half of your deck in your hand.
Pretty daunting.
Yeah, it is because when you run out of cards, that's it. You don't get any more cards for the
Mhm.
game. So this is a fast-paced game.
It is very fast paced.
Yeah, which is nice. It's refreshing because like
Mhm.
a lot of card games aren't, and like if you want a long-paced, slow-paced game,
Yes.
get Keyforge. It's cheap too.
I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
Corrections
Mm-hmm.
from just now.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fast paced game if I'm not your opponent.
Correct.
Because there's no fast paced game with me.
That's
man.
actually true. No game is a fast-paced game
Except
for
for
Justin
speed.
Gibson. Yeah.
I am capable of thinking quickly.
You're also
but
pretty
I
good
choose
with
not
Phase
to.
10.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You played that pretty fast. And golf.
Dude,
You did a good job at golf too.
if I was really pushing myself with golf.
Really?
If Phase 10 is a slow paced game, I'm sorry, man. You do not have to think about. I don't know. Anyway,
You do.
Yeah.
Sometimes like when I'm playing games,
sorry,
I wish
did you-
that I was Oh yeah, I did just take a
What's
sip.
what's that?
Oh, it's just a sparkling ice grape raspberry zero sugar with
Oh,
vitamins and antioxidants.
nice.
It's 17 fluid ounces.
I've got myself a A&W cream soda.
No, you don't.
Well, it's in the fridge.
Oh, okay. You're like,
yeah. I forgot to grab it before we started recording.
okay.
It's fine. I'll drink it with dinner.
Nice, dude. That's great. Good to know. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for letting me know that. So you draw your 5 cards, and then you each start with 3 life points. Okay.
Yes.
And I actually didn't read this. Like I didn't know that you could do how we did it
Okay.
until today. Like this game, it's so cool because the game is again, it's $18, super cheap, and you don't need anything else than just the cards.
Mhm.
You don't need a dice. You don't need counters or anything special.
Yeah,
Like with Magic,
just
it's
the
like
cards.
with Magic, you gotta like buy the cards, you gotta buy sleeves, you gotta buy a mat, you gotta
Yeah.
buy dice, you gotta
Yeah.
buy a life counter, you gotta buy
And
all this stuff. And by the time that you're done with one deck and all this stuff, you've paid like $150.
And I have piggybacked off of you and our boss so much when we play
Yeah.
because
You haven't had to buy dice, you haven't had to buy a
yeah.
mat.
If I played with someone who was in my shoes, we would be lost, dude.
Yeah.
No counters.
Also, that $150 statement that I made, that's if you're playing the cheapest Magic the Gathering format. Like, if you're playing any other format, it's like $300 by the time that you're done with everything. It's an expensive game.
I'll tell
and
you what
so-
isn't like that.
What?
Mindbug.
Mindbug. Exactly.
And Keyforge.
Keyforge. Yeah, Keyforge is super cheap too. We have a video on we have a podcast episode on Keyforge. Sorry. Ugh. We have a podcast episode on Keyforge as well. Highly recommend that you go listen to that.
Oh, we should play Keyforge sometime.
Oh, dude.
That game's so
it's
good.
so fun.
And you know what other game is good?
Mindbug. And so you each start with 3 life points, and the way that they recommend doing it is you take cards. So like you each have 10 cards in your deck, right? But then there's like 30 other cards.
Okay.
Right? Or no, there's 48 minus 20 is 28. So there's 28 cards left in the pile. So almost 30. I was about right.
You were there.
And then you each take 3 of them and put them like sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Like face down, like just on your side of the board. And those are your life points as like a counter, right? And it's really nice.
Yeah.
And then also to figure out who goes first, you each take a card from the top of the deck and flip it over, and whoever has the highest power value goes first. So it's like you don't need dice, you don't need anything
none of
like
that. Yeah.
If you want a fun way to see who goes first in any game, you got to do the 1-2 finger thing.
Have we talked about this yet?
I don't think we've talked about it.
All right, so here's what you do.
Okay.
It's you and one other person. You have a decision to make. One person will say odd or even. Both people will put their fist up like they're ready to roll dice.
Or rock, paper, scissors.
Yes, but when they bring their fist down, they either hold out 1 finger or 2 fingers.
Any fingers you want.
Yeah, any of your fingers.
You could do your thumb and your pinky.
But only one of them or 2 of them.
Yeah. Exclusively.
Any of you. One hand, so 5 options.
You have 5 options of fingers
to choose from.
Choose wisely.
1 or 2. Yes. Not
then,
0.
No,
not
you can't
3,
do 0.
Don't. Yeah.
Come on. Let's get real, guys. And then let's just do it real fast, okay? So 1, 2.
Odds.
Okay, yeah, you go odds.
Okay,
I'll go evens.
No. I say odd. You don't say odds or evens.
Okay.
Go. Okay, we both did 2.
So we both have 2 fingers out. So then we add the sum together. That's 4.
4.
So
4 is even.
So I go first.
So you go first.
Because you lost.
Because I lost.
Yep. And it's that
very
simple.
Way
it's so simple.
Easier than rock,
paper, scissors. Because then people are like, 1, 2, 3, go, or 1, 2, 3,
yeah,
or
and then they're like, we'll do out of 3.
Yeah.
And then they're like, best 3 out of 5.
Yeah, it's so simple. Let's do it again. Odds.
You're going?
Yep, odds. Okay. We both put out 1 finger, so you go first.
We're tied.
Okay. So that's really, really fun. I'm having a blast. Can we do it again?
Very budget. You just need
hands.
2 fingers.
I really hope that everybody who's listening has at least 2 fingers.
That'd be so funny if they didn't.
They're like, what do I do?
Yeah, they're like,
I can't play Mindbug.
They keep talking about these games that I can't play. Mobile games, card games.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is a very finger-based podcast. Finger-privileged podcast.
Okay, this is terrible, but I was like, we will talk about a game that you can play to our specific listener who doesn't have any fingers.
Uh-huh.
But then I was like, well, in my head, they're in a wheelchair because they don't have any legs either. I hope that's not the case. I don't think it is. I think you just have 2 stubs.
Yeah.
And legs.
Yeah.
So we will eventually talk about the game of tag.
No, we also do soccer. You can do
so
soccer.
quit
Actually,
complaining.
dude, if you don't have any fingers, soccer is way easier because you don't even have to worry about handball.
Yeah. You hit the end of your elbow and they're like, come on, dude, that's hand. You're like, no,
you're like, I didn't even have hands, bro.
You're like, really?
Yeah.
That would be good, actually.
That's okay, come on, can we that's a little insensitive, right? He's like, handball, you're like, oh, come on.
Just hold your stubs out, like, what?
Handball, he's like, fine, nub ball.
Fine, nub ball.
For all intents and purposes, we're calling it nub ball for the rest of this game.
You can't hit it with your elbow then.
Yeah. You can't hit it with your elbow anyway. Anyway. So you have your 3 cards out that is your life total, which is really, really cool. You flip your cards or play our fun game to see who goes first. Okay? Now, you have 5 cards in hand. Every single one of them, I think, pretty sure every single card is a creature. Unless in the upgrade pack, there are non-creatures. In the base game, every card is a creature.
I've only seen creatures so far.
Yep. So, we will pull out a creature really fast and talk about it.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Actually, I'm sorry, we're not going to do that one.
Yeah,
it's a little too complicated.
It's not that good. Lost me the game.
We'll do this one because it's really easy to understand. Okay? So, we have the card Killer Bee in front of us. Mm-hmm. Any Mindbug enthusiasts out there are quivering. This card is great.
They're like, they picked a good one.
Yeah, picked a good one. Yeah. So, every card is going to have 2 things, and then maybe 2 other things.
Okay.
So every card is going to have a name and a power value.
Okay.
Okay. So the power value will be up in the top left, and it's in like this little eye logo because that's kind of like the thing with Mindbug is that they have like these like cool eyes.
Little alien.
It's pretty cool.
Eyes, and that's the only.
Also,
Well, never mind.
I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that you also start the game. Each of you starts with 2 mind bugs. 2 mind bug cards. Each. That's very important. This is only a 2-player game, which I like. I like when I can... I'm sorry. I'm going off on a tangent here, but like I love that I can... It's a contained system. I can take this anywhere with me. I keep it in my computer bag. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like if I'm somewhere, I'm like, hey, do you want to play this game?
With your computer?
Yeah. Or I just take it with me.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I just bring it around with me. It has the rule sheet right there unless I forget. Or like if I forget something, it's all there. Mm-hmm. You don't need a bunch of fancy stuff. You can just play. It's easy to understand, easy to teach people how to play. Very fun game. Anyway, so
it's great for that.
You have Killer Bee. That's its name. You have its power right next to it. And then below, there's a little text box. Below awesome art of
awesome art. Describe it.
It's like home. A hornet.
Yeah, that's some
waspy
sort of
looking thing. And it has a cannon where its stinger would be. And it's shooting...
It looks like a little dart.
Yeah, it's shooting a little death dart.
Yeah.
So it has an active ability.
Okay.
Or a keyword, right? Which is hunter, which we'll talk about all the keywords later.
Okay.
And then it has a... just like an ability, right? Okay. So there's a keyword and an ability.
So there's multiple different types of keywords.
And multiple different kinds of abilities.
We'll get into that, and multiple different kinds of abilities.
Which we might not get into that because abilities range wildly. But...
They're not, there's not that many, right?
I mean, every card has a different ability.
Oh, I just mean the types, like play...
Oh, attack. Yeah, play, attack, and that's pretty much it. And defeat.
Defeat.
Yeah. So, some cards don't have both a keyword or an ability. Mm-hmm. Some cards only have one. Some cards have neither.
Like the Gorilla Lion.
Gorilla Lion has neither.
He's just a 10 power.
He's just a 10 power bro.
Beast.
He's just a
hog. Okay, go ahead.
He's a gorilla and a lion. He's not a hog.
Neither.
And so, for example, Killer Bee's play ability, so that's when you play him, the opponent loses 1 life point. Which you can imagine, if you only have 3 life points, that's a pretty big deal, right?
That's a big deal, dude.
That's, if my math is right, a third of your total life.
Yeah.
Next up on the docket. Let's say that I was going to play this Killer Bee from my hand. I have a hand of 5 cards. I play the Killer Bee. You are going to lose a life point, right? Supposedly. But before any of that happens, I replace the card into my hand, right? From my deck. I draw a card from my deck.
So now your hand has 5, your deck has 4.
4, correct.
And there's 1 card in play.
And this is where the mind bug comes in, right? Because, well, actually, I should say, like before anything, when you play your cards, you replace the cards in your hand. Once you draw everything from your deck, you're donezo. You don't get to draw more cards, but you can have more than 5 cards. You should always draw up to 5 cards, but you can't have more than 5 cards at any point.
And if you have to discard cards, because you can only play 1 card a turn.
Yeah, I was just going to get into that. Yeah,
you can't just fill your hand up to like 6 or 7.
Yeah, and then just play them all and then fill your hand up back again. So on each turn, you have a choice of one thing you can do. You can either play a card or attack with a single creature. So you can either play a creature or attack with a single creature. Okay?
2 options. Simple.
2 options. If you can't do either of those things, you lose.
Okay.
And it's less of like I was wondering, I was like, well, why not? And it's like, well, because then your opponent's just going to kill you. Like, you just can't, if you can't play a card and you can't attack with a card, you have no creatures and your opponent's going to kill you. So you just lose, like, by virtue of your opponent having more stuff than you do, right?
Yes. Because even if you've gotten your life count up to 7, which is possible.
If you can't play anything,
if you don't have any cards at all,
you're going to lose.
If you have used your mind bugs already.
Oh, yeah. You've used them, honey.
You're out. And you just 7 turns later, you're dead.
I know. It's a tragedy, but...
I know. I'm sorry.
And so, whenever you play a card, right? If you attack, your opponent has some options. We'll talk about that later. If you play a card, your opponent has 2 options.
Okay.
They can either mind bug your card or not mind bug your card. Let's talk about mind bugging. You have these 2 mind bugs, right? And they're like these little aliens. that live in jars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like when I play my card, you can flip. You take one of your mind bug cards and you flip it over upside down.
Mm-hmm.
That way you know that you just only have one now.
Yeah.
And then it's like you like take control of the mind of my creature with your mind bug abilities as an alien.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take my killer bee, for example.
And it's as if
you just
played it. So
Yeah.
the play action will then happen.
Yes.
Can you mind bug a card back?
No.
Really?
No, you can't.
No
mind bug it
takesies,
back.
backsies?
No takesies, backsies.
Wow, I never even thought of that.
Yeah,
so,
no, because
good
that would just get stupid.
I mean, if it's a good card, man.
Yeah, but I don't know. Then you could like, if I have 2 mind bugs and you have 1 mind bug and I play a really good card, it's like you have no ability
I can't
to
take it from you.
Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
just stupid. That was a
Could be good.
stupid idea, Justin.
Could be good.
So the order of your turn, or like the order of action when it comes to playing a card, is play a card, immediately draw a card,
Mm-hmm.
wait for mind bug action, then resolve.
Mm-hmm.
So if they mind bug it, they get the playability off of it, and it's as if they just had their turn.
Yep.
Right? So they played that card. Now it's your turn again.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either attack with some of the creatures that you have on your side of the board, or if you don't have any creatures, or if you just don't want to, you can play another creature.
Mm-hmm.
Your opponent could then use their other mind bug and steal it
Like that.
if they want to.
And then you go again.
You go again.
Good
Okay.
strategy.
And
Is this what you were saying you didn't know until today?
what?
You mentioned there was a rule that you just learned.
I didn't know that you could attack
Or play a card.
or play a card.
Okay.
But yeah, you can do either, which
So-
is really cool.
So the people you've played with, screw them, right?
No, I don't think that either of us thought about it.
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
just like, oh, I want to
If
play
they
a
would have,
card.
yeah.
Yeah. If they would have been like, oh, can I attack? Then we probably would have.
Yeah, you would have looked it up.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I wouldn't have just been like,
who knows what
no.
it's like to play with Holden.
No, you can.
I had another question. Shoot.
Every episode,
Yeah.
Justin's got to
literally.
forget some.
What's it gonna be today? I think I already know. All right, go ahead.
You remember? Or you don't?
No, I don't.
Awesome.
I don't know.
So then your other option on your turn is to attack. You can only attack with 1 creature per turn, and it goes like this. Let's say that I had the killer bee out,
Mhm.
and I said, Justin, I'm gonna attack you with my killer bee.
Okay. In this scenario, I have 8 creatures out
Wow,
because I'm
you're ballin'.
I'm
And in this
flying.
scenario, killer bee doesn't have hunter. Okay,
Oh.
because I want to illustrate a point here.
Oh.
Okay, so
How
for the
about
people
you
that
lay
know
the
the game,
scenario out?
yeah, for the people who know the game, just forget about hunter for a second.
Okay.
Or I guess we could just do Gorillion. Let's do Gorillion. I have Gorillion
We've
out.
already mentioned him.
We've already mentioned him, and he's easy to understand. He's a 10 power dude,
Mhm.
and he doesn't have any abilities. That'll
Yeah.
make it
Holden's
so
gonna
much
find
easier.
him.
So we have Gorillion on my side of the board. And I say, Justin, I'm going to attack with my Gorillion. You have 8 creatures on your side of the board.
Yep.
You have 2 choices. You can either not block and
Mm-hmm.
take 1 life point. No matter how big my dude is,
Mhm.
you're going to take 1 life point.
Even if he has 11 power.
I just said that. I'm like, yeah. You're like, even if he has 1 power. I mean, even if let's say it's 6 power,
Yeah, 6
you'd
power.
still take 1.
You're like just still one.
still one.
Right?
You're like,
you know this.
what about 12?
All right, okay. Yes. So
Yes,
if he
you'll
has 12 or more,
You lose.
2 power. Or I can block.
Yes, you can block, and you get to choose whatever creature you want to block my Gorillion with.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, it has poison.
Or it's big.
Or it's a
bigger.
Gorillion.
Mhm. Is there a card that has?
Gorillion is the biggest card in this
Infinite.
deck. He's the
Wow.
Infinite, yeah. So, and then if, let's say that you had a Gorillion and you blocked it, they
I
would
do.
both die.
Okay.
If you didn't have a Gorillion and it was, let's say, a 4 power creature,
Mm-hmm.
my Gorillion would kill your
Yes.
dude. He
And
would be put
survive.
into a discard pile,
Mhm.
and my Gorillion would survive. And he would not now be a 6 power card. He would
Right.
still be a 10 power
This
card.
ain't Keyforge.
No. Keyforge is wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how attacking works.
Okay.
And so now we can start talking about keywords.
Yeah.
our
'Cause
favorite
that's literally,
abilities.
like,
That's it.
The rules.
That's the rules.
Yeah.
If
Except
you
for
lose
the one
all
that
three-
I thought and I had a question about. Besides that, that's the rules.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull out some cards here that have keywords on them, and we're gonna talk about them. So, in front of me right now, I have every keyword ability and every keyword and every ability. So we have Hunter, Sneaky, Poisonous, Frenzy, and Tough.
Okay.
I believe that those are the only ones. Frenzy, Hunter, Poisonous, Sneaky, Tough. Yeah. So let's talk about each of them. Hunter. A creature with Hunter, when attacking, gets to choose what creature is going to block.
Super strong.
Very powerful because of another ability or another keyword. I need to be really clear about that.
Yes, you do.
Another keyword.
Yeah.
Hunter cards also sometimes will have like attack abilities, which can be really good because you get to choose what you attack, and when you're attacking, you're doing something good. They're just like kind of the beasts.
There's infinite
right?
combinations.
Yeah, and hunters are really good for taking out really problematic cards, which there are tons of in this game. So hunter is very, very valuable.
Yes, or you can just
One of my
always hit a card that has less power and kill it. And just keep sniping.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the sniper card.
Yeah.
For all the Halo fans.
We'll do a tier list of how good the keywords are.
Okay.
Maybe. Sneaky, I think, goes on the top.
Wow.
Yeah. Sneaky cards can only be blocked by other sneaky cards. Okay?
Uh-huh.
The only thing that defeats Sneaky other than Sneaky is Hunter, because Hunter cards can attack Sneaky cards, right?
Yes.
But Sneaky is so good because if I play a Sneaky card and you don't have an answer for it, you don't have a mind bug, or you choose not to mind bug it, or you don't have a Sneaky card in your hand, you just lose.
Yeah.
Because I'll attack you 3 times.
Nothing can defend it.
Nothing can defend it. You just lose.
Hunter.
That's what happened to Carson and I the first time we played this game. We were both like just trying to figure it out. We had our cards in hand, and I was like, okay, I'll play Spider Owl, and he was like, okay, that seems pretty good. And then on his turn, he did something, and I was like, okay, I attack with my Spider Owl. It might have been the other way around. I don't remember. He probably was actually the one who did it. And I was like, okay. And then it was his turn, and he did something, and I attacked him with it again. He was like, so I just lose, right? And I was like, unless you can draw a sneaky card. So then the next game, the first time somebody played a sneaky card, we were like, I mind bug it. I want that. Because I just need it, you know?
Yeah, and no takesies backsies.
Yeah, for real. Like, let's be frank here.
Just the first card that gets played.
I'll be Frank, you be Justin.
Spend all their...
Yeah.
That'd be good.
So I think that the next one on the list, so it goes Sneaky at S tier, Hunter at A tier, then at B tier is Poisonous.
Yeah, I agree there.
Poisonous, if you've played Magic, is Death Touch. So let's say that you attack me with your Gorilla who is 10 power.
Yeah.
I have my Axolotl healer here, who only has 4 power.
Yeah, he's a little guy.
He's a little guy, but he has Poisonous. If I block your 10 power dude, it kills him no matter what.
They both die.
Yeah, they both die. Think of it as like a snake biting a lion, right?
Venom.
The lion is probably going to kill the snake, but then, the black mamba probably going to kill the lion.
Power to crush
right?
his head.
Even though if it was just a regular snake, definitely dies.
Yeah.
Then I think that after that, so it goes S tier Sneaky, A tier Hunter, B tier Poisonous. Then I think Tough is next.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Tough cards can defend twice.
Total.
Well, they can defend. That's complicated.
They can defend.
They can die twice.
They can defend and lose.
They can defend at a lethal amount of damage twice.
Be dealt to them.
Yeah,
twice.
Yeah. So when you have a creature out with Tough, let's say that I have my grave robber here, who has 7 power, and you have a Gorilla. You attack me with your Gorilla. I block with my grave robber. He has Tough, so I turn him sideways. He's now like in
tapped.
I think that it's called Exhausted. I think.
Same with Keyforge.
I think so.
Okay.
Both made by the same dude, so.
Oh yeah. Hey, quit biting me, Valjean. Valjean's here, by the way.
Yeah, he is.
And
as always.
He is very
ornery.
Yeah.
And so if you attack me again with your Gorilla, I can block again with my Grave Robber, but because he's exhausted, he'll die that time, right? Yeah. Also, when you attack in this game, you don't tap. You don't do it like you do in Magic.
Yeah.
You can attack with a creature. Yeah, you can attack with a creature and then next turn block with the same creature. I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah.
So that's what Tough does. And then I think that the bottom of the barrel is Frenzy.
Yeah.
I think that Tough or Frenzy can be kind of interchangeable.
Yeah, I agree.
Frenzy's pretty good.
I think they're both C tier.
Yeah, I think that they're both in the same tier.
Well, John,
Tough might be a little higher than
attention,
Frenzy.
But not right now. Yeah, I agree. Tough is a little bit better, but
Frenzy just means that if you attack once and your creature survives, you get to attack again.
Mm-hmm. But if they don't have Hunter, then they can be blocked by
anything,
any choice.
And a lot of the Frenzy creatures have high power, and so they're kind of meant to like bulldoze down a bunch of small creatures. But like, if your dude has poisonous, it's just I mean, Frenzy's fine. I think that it's kind of threatening, but it's definitely nowhere near as good as the other ones. Okay, next we have abilities. Okay, so each card has a unique ability, or no ability at all, but they come in 3 different categories. So we will talk about Killer Bee. No, actually, we'll talk about Axolotl Healer. That card is too good.
Okay.
Axolotl Healer for play. We'll talk about... that one's actually complicated. Dang it, I need to go find a different one because I don't want to have to read it and explain it. Okay, we'll talk about Turbo Bug for attack.
Wow.
And we'll talk about... no, not Strange Barrel. We'll talk about... I want one in particular.
Mysterious Mermaid or whatever.
No.
Or Hairy Mother.
No. Explosive Toad.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
These ones are like the easiest to understand. So Axolotl Healer is my favorite card in the game.
Okay.
It's the Mole Drifter of Mindbug, in my opinion. Yeah, Mole Drifter is a Magic card that just does something awesome. Okay. If you know Mole Drifter, you're probably really happy guy. So Axolotl Healer has 4 power, has poisonous, and when you play him, you gain 2 life points. A lot of life points in this game.
Yeah.
You go from 3 to 5.
Yes.
That's crazy.
You don't max out at 3.
No, you don't max out at 3. You can go up to 5. Yeah, you can go up to as many lives as your heart desires. Now, remember, though, Axolotl Healer is one of those cards where it's dangerous because if you play it and your opponent mind bugs it, they gain the 2 life. And they have a poisonous little dude. There's no takesies backsies, as Justin loves pointing out. Next is Turbo Bug. He also has 4 power. He says, on attack, the opponent loses all life points except 1. Really, really dangerous guy.
So this is a good showcase of how quickly
this tables game moves.
Can turn. Yeah, things can happen at a lightning pace.
Yeah, there have been times where like somebody plays Turbo Bug trying to bait me into taking it, and I'm like, oh, that's fine. They attack me with Turbo Bug, and then I play Axolotl Healer, and now I'm back up to 3.
And they take it, and now you're gonna lose for sure.
Oh yeah, that's happened to me too. Or that's happened to opponents.
Somebody.
That's happened to me for sure. Next, so yeah, that's attack. So like on attack, something happens. Okay. Right?
So that means you have to play it.
Wait a turn.
Wait a turn at
and
least.
And then attack with it.
And then attack with it.
Yeah. Then we have Explosive Toad. He has 5 power. He has Frenzy, so he can attack 2 times.
Pretty good.
And he has a defeated clause. So if he's defeated, you get to defeat a creature.
Yeah.
So let's say that your opponent has a Gorilla.
Okay.
You attack with your Explosive Toad. He blocks with Gorilla. Explosive Toad dies. You get to destroy his Gorilla. Yeah. So he has like pseudo poisonous.
Yeah, it is.
But you could also be like, I don't care too much about your Gorilla. Yeah. I want to destroy your Tiger Squirrel because it has sneaky.
Hunter.
Yeah, I need to get your thing out of here. Yeah. You know.
But in order to activate it, your opponent has to actually kill him or block him with a stronger guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, this game is super fun. Straightforward.
You can imagine how wild it can get.
Yeah, like things get swingy, and it's one of those games like just imagine you have all these cards in your hand, and you have big threats in there. But then there's also some cards that aren't very good, right? Yeah. Like there's
like most of the ones I had.
Okay, come on, dude. don't be that way. Like let me find.
It was
like,
a joke.
one of the not so good cards.
Here's the thing, though. You could have a golden hand, and then your opponent plays a card, and you swap hands. I had that card at some point. I never played it.
What do you mean?
There's a card that just you swap hands with your opponent.
Oh yeah, that one is like kind of like special to this deck. So each deck, I'm pretty sure, comes with 2 like unique cards.
Okay. What's this guy on the top right here?
That's Macaw Dagon. That's the guy where if you attack, you swap hands with your opponent. So some cards that aren't so good, right? Like Bear, 8 power, cannot be blocked by creatures with power 6 or less. Mm-hmm. It's fine, but it's definitely not mind buggable.
Right.
Right? Like nobody's gonna mind bug a Bear unless it's like I need that specific card because you only have these guys out. Your hand is completely empty, and I'm gonna beat you. Right?
Yeah. Here's the thing about that. You kind of want big cards to be able to be blocked by small cards because then you can just stomp on them.
Yeah.
And eliminate them.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's not mind buggable. In most cases, like if I play this on turn 1, you're not mind bugging it. If I play Turbo Bug on turn 1, you're gonna take that for sure.
I guess the point is, if they only have small cards, then you can just bop their face.
Yeah.
Each turn. Anyway.
Yeah. Elephantopus.
Okay.
He's a 7 power dude. He has Tough, which we've considered to be not so good, and the opponent cannot block with creatures with power 4 or less. So it's kind of the same. Or it's kind of a similar deal, you know, to where like Elephantopus wants to get after the big boys, right? And it's fine, but again, not mind buggable. Rhino Turtle is another example. 8 power, big guy. He just has Frenzy and Tough. He's just a big guy that likes to smash face. But a lot of the time, what?
He's a little
mind buggable. But in this game, I feel like a lot of the swingiest plays are in like playing a sneaky guy or playing a killer bee, right? Like there are times when your opponent has 1 life, and if you play killer bee, they have to mind bug it. So then you can take that opportunity to thin out their mind bug capability, and then play your axolotl healer, and you're like, you can't even steal it. And now you think that you got a good deal out of that killer bee, or I mean, it's kind of like you have to do it, right? So you can really put your opponent into a corner, which feels really good because it's like you're outsmarting. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like it's so simple, but there's so much like there's a lot of bluffing in Mindbug. Yeah, because it's like, does he want me to take that? And if so, don't take it.
On our second game that you and I played, there were a lot of cards where you're like, you could just Mindbug this dude.
I wasn't like, there was one time that I was like, okay, you definitely should have mind bugged that.
Yeah,
like you just should have.
Yeah, I should have. But I was waiting for a card that you stole from my hand, which said it was the attack ability, so I would have had to play it and then survive a turn. And you were out of mind bugs. I had 1 left. Yeah. You had it in your hand. Yeah. But you were just not going to play it.
You were doing the classic
till the end
RPG thing, where like you get to the final boss and you got that like Psycho Serum or like that crazy potion thing that gives you like Super Saiyan abilities, and you're fighting the final boss and you're like, I'm not gonna use it. Yeah. Because like I could use it later. Yeah. And it's like, no, dude, this is the final boss. Yeah.
Yeah. But and then you die.
Yeah. Then you
with it in your inventory.
Or you win with it in your inventory and you're like, oh, I could have used that. That would have been fun. Yeah. You know. Yeah. But that's kind of the thing with mind bugs. Like, sure, a perfect game would probably be not using either of your mind bugs, but it's also such a powerful resource that you want to be using it optimally. Yeah, it's like another card in your hand.
I was actually kind of pushing myself to use them because typically with stuff like that, I am afraid of regretting the moment I used it, so I hang on to it too long. Yeah. But also, I had played my whole game. The card you took was what's it called? Unigon.
It's like a unicorn, and a dragon put together. Unigon.
You play the card. Its attack ability is if your hand is empty, you win the game.
That's exactly what it says.
And
you're like, oh, I remember.
My hand I had 1 card that I was hanging on to, like because I played the whole game thinking at the end, like I was getting rid of cards. That was my whole strategy because I had that in my opening hand, and then he stole it, and so I was like, okay, so now I don't have cards, and I don't have that card.
Yeah.
And you still had like 4 cards, so you're like, I'm just not going to play this because you knew that was my whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that sucked. So this is a great game.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoy it, dude.
Yeah.
I'd play it again anytime.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that it's so, like, it's just fast.
Yeah.
It's very fast. It's very easy to get into, and like they came out with, like, I don't even know, but I think that they came out with an upgrade pack that you can buy has like new cards in it and
stuff. Does
stuff.
it have a price point? 21?
Yeah, $12. $12 USD. Let's see what it actually has in it. Product, extend your Mindbug experience with 30 additional creature cards and 4 additional Mindbugs required to play the 4-player mode.
We'll have to someday buy that and do that.
Definitely.
That'd be good.
I want to see what the
we also need to buy new Keyforge decks and play with those.
Definitely.
And do another Keyforge episode.
Yeah, Keyforge and Mindbug, like, if you are interested in getting into like the fantasy card game genre, which, like, yes.
Are these both collectible card games?
They're,
because
I don't know if I would consider them collectible.
It's not tradable.
That's kind of
it's not trading card games.
Yeah, but so with both games you buy a deck.
Mm-hmm. It's just a card game.
I think it's just a card game.
Yeah,
it's just like a fantasy.
I think you're right.
Like strategy card game.
Okay.
And if you're thinking about getting into that world and you're like, I don't know if I'm really going to get into it, like maybe you're really into board games, or maybe you're into video games and or even like Warhammer or something like that, and you're like, I don't know if I could get into card games, I would highly recommend Keyforge and Mindbug.
Yes. To start.
Keyforge is a little cheaper because you only need to buy 1 deck for yourself, and it's like $10.
Mm-hmm.
This is 1 deck for 2 people, $18. I still think that it's a steal.
Yeah, well, I mean, isn't this technically cheaper then? Because,
well, if one other person, but you don't have to pay for the other person's deck.
Right.
But with Keyforge also, you probably want to buy the starter pack so that you can get all the tokens and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that game is complicated.
Yeah, that game has a lot more
moving pieces.
Yeah. But also, if you're gonna get into this, and you have a buddy that plays Keyforge, probably just do Keyforge.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you're like me and my buddy, I have a friend I'd play card games with if we had one, by Mindbug, because then you both.
Well, I'm even thinking like,
I mean, it's this just
like if you play Commander, and you love Magic, right? Everybody knows that at Commander nights, there's always that. Oh, sorry, bump the table. There's always that lull, where one person won really early, and you're just sitting waiting for the next round, which is probably going to be in like an hour because Commander games take forever. You can just, most of the time people are like, want to get another round in, or you could just pull out like a Mindbug or a Keyforge and play on the side, like a different game, man. Freshen yourself up a little bit. Yeah. Like if you love Magic, you'll love Keyforge. This game is great. It flexes different.
Mindbug.
I'm sorry.
You'll love them both.
You'll love them both. They both flex different mind muscles than Magic does.
Yes.
Keyforge has like this sandbagging, like I want to have a really big explosive turn, so I need to prepare and do all these different things. Like it's very combo heavy, very like makeshift, trying to figure out like a puzzle.
Mindbug is more fast paced.
Yeah, Magic is very strategic, very like war games. Like I'm trying to do this, but Mindbug is like I need to think X amount of turns ahead, or I'm just gonna lose.
Does that sure have a hood on it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Mindbug and Keyforge are both way more approachable than Magic.
100%.
There are still so many things in Magic that I need explaining every time we play.
Yeah, and something else that we're definitely going to talk about on this podcast is that if you're interested in getting into Magic, first of all, I'd highly recommend it. It's a great game. But I'd recommend you start somewhere a lot more approachable than something like, I mean, Commander's super approachable because you can just buy a starter deck. They're like $45, and you can play with friends if they know how to play Magic. But I would recommend you getting into Pauper, and we're going to talk about Pauper on its own thing. Yeah. But like, I'd super recommend Mindbug, and yeah, anything else that you wanted to add? Any cards that you particularly liked in the decks or in the deck? There's some really cool cards where you get like.
This is the one, dude.
Yeah.
Strange Barrel, defeated, steal 2 random cards from the opponent's hand.
Yeah.
That
won me the game.
That won you the game, but that is so good because once you're out of cards, you're out of cards.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy good.
Yeah.
I just didn't think you'd block with it. That was like, oh, he can just kill, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway. No, I don't know. I think, I mean, you just gotta just buy this game, dude. Yeah. This is a great game.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about all the cards because, you know.
Yeah, you want
it's
a little
exciting.
Novelty in
It's
there.
exciting, you know? Yeah. And another thing about it is that, like, you're not building a deck that has, like,
That's
a
true.
specific plan to it. So every time you play, you're like, oh, I gotta make this work.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
And that is really good because...
it keeps the novelty up.
Deck building is great, but sometimes not having to think about it is also great.
Yeah.
And yeah, it makes it so that it's every new game is you have a whole different strategy and opportunity.
For real, like applauding the game designers of this game. Because, like, imagine building a game where any 10 cards out of a stack of 48 can compete against each other equally every time. That's crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's good, dude.
Anything else you want to add, buddy?
I don't know, Valjean, what about you? Are you okay, buddy?
He's like, Kimo, take us out.
Oh, if I could get him to say that, I would. But
maybe someday.
Instead, I'm just going to go put him on his tie out.
All right. Sounds good. Kibo, take us out.
Hey, free game, talking gaming day and night. This the show that you've been missing, guaranteed to get you hyped. Up, down, left, start, better charge up your controller. The show is taking over with Justin and with Holden. Hey, phase 10, Halo Reach, Magic the Gathering. Plenty games we talking, cause that's what we got a passion in. Hey, restart, run it back, let's play like we in the arcade. Homie, this is free game, let's go.